Okay, so now we're live.
Okay. How did you get the live though? Is it easy?
Yeah, it is pretty easy now. So is what you do, you go, it's all through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go into YouTube, you click on your little picture icon that's in the upper right-hand corner. You click on that, you go to Creator Studio, then you go to live streaming, then you go to events, new event, and then you'll make sure the event is public. And you can name the event if you want. And then you just go, it's go to live now. And then once you're on the Google Hangouts thing, at the very top of the Google Hangouts screen is where you can add people. And then you just invite people with their email addresses.
Okay.
That's
Because I was doing that, but it wasn't allowing me. I think I have a problem with mine.
Yeah, I can record them for us for now, and that's fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, let's get this our stuff going. Get my example pulled up.
And I'm not sure how long this week's will take us, but I'll have to leave at about 6:50.
Okay.
About 15 minutes. Because this seems like we might be discussing for a while, just to let you guys know.
Yeah.
Okay. I have not gotten a chance to preview this week's stuff.
It is right here.
Why does it have to be a long week?
Yeah.
Do you have an example?
No, I didn't get to write one yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So mine's pretty basic. Just talking about the attachment bias. So, like, I love my wife, and I want her to be happy, so that I'm happy. So when she asked me to tell her how her new recipe is that she tried for dinner, I tell her that it was great, no matter what.
Nice one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Mine's really similar. So my wife was a tutor for the communication department for a few different teachers for like 3 years.
Okay.
I've taken two of the classes that she was a tutor for while she was a tutor. And so it was really easy for me to just figure out how to do the assignment exactly. And she could have had a bias towards grading me and stuff, but she was actually a little bit harder on me while she was grading. But she could have been a little bit easier, but she wasn't.
Okay.
So that's what my example is.
Okay.
So it's mostly about family relationship.
What was that?
The easy ones, yeah.
There's ambiguity, attachment, approval, familiarity, and discontinuing.
Yeah. So, like, did you read the?
No, I didn't
teacher's
get a
example
to do.
Her
Her
example was
as a professor doing grading. I attempt to grade all assignments. Yeah.
If she's more familiar with the students, she feels like sometimes it'll be a little bit easier for her to do whenever they're more willing to ask for help and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Compared to a student that she's never met or anything like that, they just do the work.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before. A lot of persons that I've been in groups with, they tend to talk to the teachers a lot, and they get preferences.
Yeah.
Probably give an example like that.
Yeah. Yep. So it's pretty basic. I mean, anything you could possibly feel.
Yeah.
Like bias towards another person, not just in professional settings, but.
I guess this is why they ask you to recuse yourself if you know someone who you're going up against.
Right. Or like, so like I'm doing an auditing internship right now, and the firm will send out emails whenever one of the offices around the nation get a new client, and just to make sure that we don't have any connections to that client,
Yeah.
just to make sure that the firm can audit them.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty important.
All right. So we just have to talk about the
Couple.
case. Well, yeah, it's not really the case. It's just the article on why good accountants do bad audit.
Yeah.
Did everyone read that?
Yeah.
Yeah, partly.
What do you think of the case? Or do you
Okay.
say?
I think I mean, I think it all comes down to what it was saying, where like the caveat that the auditor receives $60 million in annual fees from the audited company. You know, it all comes down to, like, you have this client that you want to keep relations with so that you can, you know, that's an enormous fee that you get to charge this person every year, and like you wouldn't want to lose it, so it's very easy to like to be biased in your judgments towards them, to maybe look away from something, because like,
Yeah.
I mean, not all the fees are that great, but like no matter what, it's always similar in that way. Whenever you're receiving something from somebody, you're always going to be a little more biased towards it, because you're thinking, I want to get that every year.
Yeah. I'm
Like
not.
that at
I can't
the end of
remember.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah, just talking about some of the problems with like their reforms and how to fix this. Like it's always going to be there, that temptation.
Mm-hmm. Like I can't remember the exact figure, but in auditing, one client can't make up like more than a certain percentage of your business. So you can't have one client being 80% of your business, because definitely you'll be biased to that client and you'll want to make that client happy. So you'll try to bend the rules, and help them avoid tax, or sometimes even evade taxes as much as possible.
Yeah.
Where tax avoidance is not illegal, but tax evasion is.
Yeah. Whenever you have a customer that you're more familiar with than other customers, you're gonna have more of a bias towards them because you want to help them out and stuff like that. We have the exact same thing happen with work where I work at, where there'll be regular customers that come in all the time, and so since they come in so often, they want us to help them out, give them extra discounts, stuff like that. And
Yeah. Or they
that's
offer to buy you lunch, or
Yeah.
bring you presents and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so I've noticed that just in the job where I work at, where you get lots of repeat customers who always come back and they just expect certain things. And I think whenever that happens, I feel like that becomes an issue.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a series of questions.
Yeah, I think I have those pulled up for us. I think a really good one of the questions that she has for us: why do you think it's so difficult to overcome bias, even when you know about it?
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to overcome a bias like that when you know about it, because you don't want to hurt the customer's feelings or whatever. And so you just kind of brush it to the side sometimes. And you don't really want to deal with it. 'Cause, I mean, no one really wants to hurt anyone's feelings, and I think that's what it all boils down to whenever you have a bias like that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of people are afraid of, like ruining relationships and stuff like that, or
Being honest.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of times it's not just like, it's whether you create a friendship with a client or whether you're thinking of, financial reasons. Either way, it's going to be hard to let's say put in a modified statement in your audit that then leads to you being terminated next year or something like that, or telling one of your customers that no, I can't give you this, that's a silly thing to say, and they're just like, oh well, I put on all this effort and you won't even help me out a little bit, I'm going somewhere else. It's just
I actually worked in a firm that was sucking my soul because we had really great auditors, and every time the auditors refused to do something that my boss wanted to do, he would just badmouth them, and eventually he just lowered the people's standard because he would not provide them with the information that they needed. So they had our company listed as this client that is not willing, and for them it wasn't good because all of their clients always had their books up to date, and this kind of ruined their track record. And eventually the relationship went south, and they end up owing the other firm a lot of fees and all of that.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing is just not hurting people's feelings, because it's something we just don't want to do naturally, and sometimes that's what you have to do. You just have to say, okay, we can't be doing this anymore.
Yeah.
Explain it.
Yeah, I think a big part of it too might be that once you realize that bias has been involved, you might come to realize how many bad things that you've already done. And if you go ahead and bring that to light, you'll be culpable too, almost as well, from a more cynical standpoint. After a certain point, once you realize it, you're just oh, this won't look good for me. So I just gotta hide it and keep being biased towards this person.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we just have bias in every single thing that we do every day. And that's one of the questions she asked is, how big of an issue is bias in everyday ethical situations? I feel like it's in everything almost that we do, whether it's at school or it's in a job or whatever, or a customer at a business. I just think there's always a little bit of a bias involved, no matter what.
Yeah, well, the examples of what we submitted as our individual examples can show that there's bias in everything, because we're talking about family relationships and student-teacher relationships. So you can see how much it stretches out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything. That's we've pretty much gone through the majority of the questions that she asked anyways for the prompts and stuff, so.
Okay.
I think we are good. Does anyone have anything else they need to add? Or?
Yeah, how are you guys doing in these exams?
What was that?
How are you doing in the exams?
They take forever. Pretty much, I take almost the whole 2 hours that she gives us on each exam.
Yeah, but for your scores, are you getting good scores?
I've gotten, I think, a B on my last B1.
Yeah, I mean they're decent. They're pretty hard.
Yeah, they take a long time.
Yeah, she does a pretty good job of. Since it is an open book thing, it's certainly not easy just to look for it.
Yeah, I am going through it thinking that I'm sure of answers, but I keep coming out with C